Ever wondered who were the most powerful rulers in history? Not just kings or queens, but figures who literally redrew the map of the world and shaped the future in ways we still feel today. Get ready for some mind-blowing facts, because we're about to count down some of the most dominant leaders who ever lived. Let's kick things off with a name that echoes through history: Genghis Khan. This man didn't just build an empire, he created the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. Imagine a single dominion stretching all the way from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. At its peak, the Mongol Empire covered over 16% of the Earth's entire landmass. Think about that for a second. More than 1/6 of all the land on our planet was under his control. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a revolutionary. He established the Yam, a sophisticated messenger and supply route system that was like the internet of the 13th century, connecting distant lands and revitalizing the Silk Road. This network didn't just move armies, it moved goods, ideas, and cultures, fundamentally changing global trade forever. His influence was so vast that it's estimated nearly 1 in 200 men alive today are his direct descendants. That's power on a genetic level. Next, we journey back to ancient Greece to meet a man who was a military prodigy, a philosopher's student, and a king by the age of 20, Alexander the Great. Tutored by none other than Aristotle, Alexander was destined for greatness, but nobody could have predicted just how great. By the time he was 30, he had forged one of the largest empires of the ancient world, stretching from Greece all the way to northwestern India. And here's the most astonishing part. He never lost a single battle, not one. His military strategies and tactics are still studied in military academies around the globe today. But his legacy wasn't just about conquest. As he marched across the world, he founded over 20 cities that bore his name, most famously Alexandria in Egypt. His conquests initiated the Hellenistic period, spreading Greek culture, language, and thought across 3 continents. He blended Eastern and Western cultures in an unprecedented way, creating a new cosmopolitan world that would influence art, science, and politics for centuries to come. From Greece, we move to Rome, and to a name that has become synonymous with power: Julius Caesar. He was a brilliant military general, a charismatic politician, and a masterful writer. Caesar's conquest of Gaul, modern-day France, not only made him incredibly wealthy and popular with his soldiers, but also massively expanded the Roman territory. However, his ambition didn't stop at the borders of Rome. He famously crossed the Rubicon River with his army, an act of treason that plunged the Roman Republic into civil war. He emerged victorious and was declared dictator for life. He centralized the government, reformed the calendar we still use a version of today, and laid the groundwork for the Roman Empire. His power became so absolute, so threatening to the old order, that a group of his own senators, men he considered allies, conspired against him. His dramatic assassination on the Ides of March wasn't just the end of a man's life. It was the death of the Roman Republic and the birth of an empire that would dominate the Western world for the next 500 years. Now let's leap forward in time to post-revolutionary France and meet a man of legendary ambition, Napoleon Bonaparte. Rising from humble beginnings as an artillery officer, Napoleon's military genius was undeniable. He seized power in a coup d'etat and in a breathtaking display of self-belief, crowned himself Emperor of the French. He then set out to conquer Europe, and for a while, it seemed like nothing could stop him. His armies swept across the continent, defeating coalitions of the most powerful European monarchies. But Napoleon was more than just a general. He was a reformer. His greatest lasting legacy is the Napoleonic Code. This was a complete overhaul of the French legal system, establishing principles like equality before the law, freedom of religion, and the abolition of feudalism. It was so modern and comprehensive that it has influenced the civil law systems of dozens of countries worldwide, from Europe to Latin America, and even parts of the Middle East. Let's travel east to the man who created the very concept of China as a unified state, Qin Shi Huang. Before him, China was a collection of warring states that had been fighting for centuries. In an incredibly short period, he conquered them all, unifying China for the first time in 221 BC, and declaring himself the first emperor. To consolidate his new empire, he embarked on a radical program of standardization. He created a single currency, standardized weights and measures, and most importantly, standardized the written script. This meant that people from different regions who spoke different dialects could communicate through a common writing system, a crucial step in forging a unified Chinese identity. And of course, he's famous for beginning the monumental project we know as the Great Wall of China, connecting existing fortifications into a massive defense system. He was a ruthless ruler, but his vision of a unified China has endured for over 2 millennia. Now for a ruler known as much for his wisdom as for his power, Akbar the Great of the Mughal Empire in India. Ascending to the throne as a teenager, he inherited a fragile kingdom. Through brilliant military campaigns and shrewd diplomacy, he expanded the Mughal Empire to include nearly all of the Indian subcontinent. At its height, his empire was one of the wealthiest in the world, controlling a huge portion of global GDP. But what truly makes Akbar great was his policy of tolerance and inclusion. In an era of intense religious conflict, Akbar, a Muslim emperor ruling over a predominantly Hindu population, promoted a policy of mutual respect. He abolished the tax on non-Muslims, invited scholars from different faiths, Hindus, Christians, Jains, and Zoroastrians, to his court for debates, and even created his own syncretic religion that aimed to reconcile their differences. His reign is remembered as a golden age of art, architecture, and religious harmony, from one great Indian emperor to another. Let's look at Emperor Ashoka of the Maurya Empire. In his early years, Ashoka was a brutal and ambitious conqueror, known as Ashoka the Fierce. He waged a devastating war to conquer the kingdom of Kalinga, a conflict so bloody it was said to have killed hundreds of thousands of people, but the aftermath of the battle changed him completely. Horrified by the carnage he had caused, Ashoka had a profound spiritual awakening and converted to Buddhism. He transformed from a ruthless warrior into a compassionate ruler, renouncing violence and dedicating his reign to spreading peace. He erected thousands of stupas and pillars across his empire, inscribed with edicts promoting morality, non-violence, and social welfare. He sent Buddhist missionaries as far as Greece and Egypt, helping to transform Buddhism from a small Indian sect into a major world religion. His story is a powerful testament to how a leader's personal transformation can change the course of history. Finally, we return to Europe, to the court of the man who personified absolute monarchy, Louis XIV of France, the Sun King. His reign of 72 years and 110 days is the longest of any monarch of a sovereign country in European history. He famously declared, "L'État, c'est moi. I am the state." And he meant it. He centralized power in his own hands, weakening the nobility and strengthening the monarchy to an unprecedented degree. His symbol was the sun, and he cultivated an image of himself as the center of the French universe, around which everything and everyone revolved. He moved the royal court to the magnificent Palace of Versailles, a breathtaking monument to his power and glory that he used as a tool to control the aristocracy. Under his rule, France became the dominant cultural and political power in Europe, and French art, fashion, and language became the standard for sophistication across the continent. So what's the common thread here? The truly powerful rulers weren't just military strongmen. Yes, they commanded vast armies, but their real, lasting power came from their ability to control culture, religion, law, and even the psychology of their people. They standardized writing, created new legal codes, shaped religious beliefs, and built monuments that projected their power for centuries. Their influence is not just a thing of the past, it's woven into the fabric of our modern world, shaping our borders, our laws, our cultures, and our very ideas about what it means to be a leader. The legacies of these historical giants are all around us, proving that true power is the ability to change the world long after you're gone. Thanks for watching. If you found these facts as mind-blowing as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments which ruler you think was the most powerful. See you next time.